Will learning about trials, errors, and issues I've faced along trying to better my gut health help serve you along your journey? Let's find out, baby. Ciao ragazzi, come state oggi? What's up guys, how's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing pretty well. What I wanted to do with this video is give some, I guess, insight on my gut story, what I've gone through to better my health to where I am now. Mind you, my health isn't perfect yet. I have a long way to go, but I've certainly, looking back on all of it, I'm like, holy shit, I've come a long way. So I want this story to be maybe inspiration for someone or a lesson for someone else to begin their story of bettering their health, whether it start with their gut, their mental stuff, whatever it is. But a lot of this will always come back to the gut. To first start off with, I like to properly define the gut. Generally, when people talk about the gut, it starts from the mouth to the anus. I used to think that the gut, and I'm sure a lot of people also think this, is just the stomach, like the organ stomach. No, the gut is from the mouth to the anus. One of the biggest things that's emphasized in gut health is your microbiome, which is essentially the bacteria, the gut flora that are living inside of your large intestine and other places in there too. Mainly a lot of people focus on the large intestine, but you do have bacteria in other places, just not as in large quantities as in the large intestine / colon, whichever term you prefer to use. Growing up as a child, I didn't really have a direction on, eating healthy or eating this or whatnot. I was just grown up on a lot of seafood and Italian food because my dad was born and raised in Italy, and he does a lot of cooking. He loves cooking so much, very passionate about the restaurant industry. I mean, I was born and raised on Italian food. You're talking mussels, seafood salad. My parents had a restaurant, so I was ingrained in that. But also in like elementary school, late elementary school, middle school, I started having a lot of processed foods and fast foods, such as McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, and those were the foods I'd always crave. I wasn't ever taught as a child, and I don't think most kids are, to really try to listen to your body's signals. And I mean, this can be in a very wide variety of things. One example could be someone's eating too much meat for their body, so you know what happens? When they go to take a shit, they're constipated. Another thing is someone's eating too many carbohydrates for their own build, their genetic makeup, their own engine per se, and they get highs and lows of sugar. That was me. During my high school and freshman year of college, I was probably eating around 400 to 500 grams of carbs. Lots of bananas, lots of dates, and lots of white rice. In essence, yes, these foods in itself are healthy, but it's the proportions for my makeup, my genetic makeup, the amount of stress, the activity that I was doing. They did not, connect. They didn't match for each other. You're not going to try to put diesel in a Hyundai Sonata, okay? It doesn't, it's not the right fuel for the engine, the car, the vehicle. Which really what this body is a vehicle for us, a material vehicle for our souls to experience this 3D life. I just started having, certain issues with, especially as I was a kid, is allergies, always being like congested, or always having to blow my nose. Elementary school, middle school, even high school, always needing to blow my nose. And I have what's called hay fever, allergic rhinitis. And when I did testing, I'm more allergic to like trees and pollen, so during the summer my allergies get worse. How does this pertain to gut health? Well, once I started focusing on bettering my gut health, eating foods for this body, this genetic makeup, I started to notice certain things that I thought was just normal, it's just what I was born with or I have to deal with, it's just genetics, was starting to go away. And I was just shocked. And one of the things that's always stuck with me is a quote from one of my professors is that your genetics loads the gun. It's your lifestyle that pulls the trigger. And I think this is so underly emphasized because so many issues and ailments and disease, and I can go on and on, can be just linked back to one's lifestyle. The amount of stress that they're doing, the amount of EMF they submit their body to, the amount of sleep they're getting, proper water. I can go on, but we're just going to stick with food today because that relates to the microbiome. Not only is there big emphasis on your microbiome, but also just the general health of the organs of the gut. A lot of things I personally used to do was overeat, eating till I was damn near full and ready to explode. I never get nauseous, I just had a food baby pretty much every single time that I'd eat. And a lot of this was because I was trying to, bulk. There's a lot of this fitness bro mentality of doing dirty bulk, shoving as much as you can, because getting as many calories is gonna add on size. But it's not so black and white, because that it could work short term, but the amount of damage, the amount of glucocorticoids, cortisol, which is a glucocorticoid, so much of it just sets you up for injury in the long term. And a lot of it does just go straight to fat. Like, I understand a lean bulk, but a dirty bulk, you're just asking for fat and short increase of power. And then a huge train derailment of gut health right after. I started to play around with bettering my health, starting to pay attention and getting into dieting around my junior year, 3 years ago. And I started that with a vegan diet. And the purpose of this wasn't even health, essentially. The purpose of it was for spiritual reasons, because the philosophy of it is that these plant foods have more life force, so you don't bring negative life force from animal meats and whatnot, animal products, into your body. So by black and white thinking, less of these life force products means more life force for me, more good life force. The concept of that seems correct, but if you have a different genetic makeup that needs certain foods in certain quantities, you're harming the temple, the thing that's experiencing and taking all of this energy and life force. So really, that black and white thinking of more plant foods or only plant foods, only good life force, it'll fuck you up unless you have that genetic makeup for it. And generally the people that have that genetic makeup for it are the ones that have lived closer towards the equator, where it's warm 4 seasons throughout the year, because the soil is able to produce crop agriculture. You don't see Inuits, Eskimos, when that soil is frozen, especially in Greenland, when right now is winter, it's -50 wind chill, -50 wind chill every single day. What is going to be growing out of there? Nothing. You only have animal products to rely on. So probably for the first 3 to 6 months, veganism went pretty well for me, and then after that, I'd say I started experiencing symptoms, but I just wasn't listening to my body. I wasn't caring for its needs. I wasn't nurturing it. I was eating with my mind, not my body. So some of the symptoms that I had started dealing with would be irritability, apathy, chronic sweats. I mean, like, especially the last 2 years, I would do very little movement and immediately get swamp ass. Like, no question, ass and piss start sweating, doing nothing. And that's kind of a sign of, you know, it's just not normal. Body's not supposed to do that. You know it's not normal, but you just accept it because, or at least for me, I was just accepting it because I didn't want to believe that, you know, anything other than vegan was better. I was eating, again, with my mind. I was just paying attention to biased research instead of paying attention to the best research that you can. The signals that your body gives you, time after eating certain foods with certain quantities, certain ingredients. That's the best research you can use, is your own body. If you're in tune with it, which we aren't taught today. That's what I'm in the process of learning. So right now I can't really give full-on advice, but if you do want to find someone that can give you that great advice, check out your boy Paul Chek, the godfather of wellness. This man I consider him like the mentor of mentors. I used to pay attention to Elliot Hulse when I started getting into fitness. Turns out Elliot Hulse was mentored by Paul Chek, so it's all full swing with this guy. In retrospect, I didn't know that these were, you know, unnormal symptoms. I just thought that, you know, this is my body. This is what I have to deal with for the rest of my life. There's nothing that can be done. You know, it's my genetics, not my lifestyle. So eventually what I had to do, or I didn't have to do anything, it just started unfolding in my life, was after I got my wisdom teeth pulled and I had my first drink of kombucha. Now with what happened after that, I will keep for the next video. I don't want to keep this too long. It's gotten a little longer than I would have liked, but it is what it is. So hope some of you enjoy this, or are looking forward to the next video. And other than that, toodles. Oh fuck. I'm getting sidetracked here.